Alright, we back. On our last episode of Retrospective Hip Hop, we discussed Kendrick Lamar dropping his highly acclaimed, chart-topping album, Damn, which shot him up to superstardom, and he proclaimed himself to being the best rapper alive. So go check that video out if you want. Now in episode 2, we'll be covering the beginning of the now canceled hip-hop debate show, Everyday Struggle, starring YouTube hip-hop commentator, DJ Akademiks, retired rapper, now podcaster, Joe Budden, and complex journalist, Nadeska Alexis, with more of the main focus being towards their first 2 rapper guest appearances on the show. Let's go. So let me get my bias with these 3 out of the way so you know where I stand. As far as Akademiks, I think he's funny and definitely entertaining, but if you've seen how he's operated over the past few years, especially 2020, leading into 2021, it's very obvious that the money got him feeling real powerful. And if you've seen his Twitch, he gets really unfiltered and really disrespectful at times, and nobody brings it up much, but he says a lot of evil, slick shit, and I've heard it way too many times to say I completely fuck with him. It's whatever though. Joe Budden, I've heard some of his songs, but I don't care how good his pen is. His delivery and his rap voice is trash. It sounds like he's reading off of a theater play script. There's a couple rappers that sound like that, but I'll cover that at a different time. He was, and still is, retired and went into podcasting, and I think the podcasting is alright. But I'm not really that invested into him and his co-host to be watching it all the time. Only time I really watch a podcast is when they're beefing with somebody or calling somebody out. Also, I know all the yelling and the screaming and the laughing is for entertainment, but it's really annoying to me. Other than that, he's alright. Now, Nadeska Alexis. I'm gonna call her Nebraska. That's her new name, Nebraska Alexis. She is very, very annoying. She's supposed to be the moderator of the show, but as the show went on, she kept getting bolder and bolder to adding her opinion into everything, and nobody gives a fuck. Just saying, but who am I to judge? Anyways, let's talk about Everyday Struggle. According to Akademiks, this is partially how it started.
In 2017, and this is where I gotta go back. Why did I join Complex at all? Because, by the way, I watch all these YouTube videos you guys send to me. And I joined Complex, I was making 6 figures a month off YouTube. I don't care who knew me, whatever. I was amazing. I will tell you this, Freddie Gibbs doesn't make 6 figures a month. That was me in 2016. So just put that out there. I didn't need Complex. But I didn't look at my brand as this isn't just the YouTube thing. This is something, and I always looked up to Q from World Star. This is something that is it's an international mainstream brand. And I felt Complex would help me accomplish certain things that, I just couldn't accomplish on YouTube. And I still believe they did. And for that, I am always forever grateful when anyone asks me, why did you go to Complex? I was dominating my field, and I wanted to box with the big boys. I wanted my name to be mentioned with the Charlemagnes and other people like that. I looked up to Charlemagne coming up. So when you ask me why I went to Complex, that was the thing. Okay? But I will let you know within year 1 of me even, and honestly, I am not regretful of it. But I do remember what Complex was at that time. Joe has told y'all, when me and Joe walked into that building, they had a whole bunch of people who were doing video, whole bunch of people who were writing. The guy who talked to me, who said he had a whole team studying my YouTube channel. This is 2016. I'm covering Drake and Meek beef in 2015, covering Drake Meek. 3 weeks later, him nor anyone he hired was there. They fired everybody. It's like, oh, we're hiring you to study these niggas, but we just hire these niggas. You're obsolete. Fired. I only speak the truth. Nobody. Complex, Joe, nobody else would ever discount anything I'm saying on this stream. When I went there and the people who were hired there, I saw them all go. I didn't even understand the magnitude of it. Joe did. I didn't. It was new. I've never been on camera. I guess why I'm telling you that part of the story. Living from check to check, them niggas is really down bad. That was never me. Ask Joe when I pull up to his crib. Very first time. I pulled up to his crib with a $180,000 car. G-Wagon. Facts. I got that from YouTube. I was doing really well. I was making $100,000 a month. We went to Complex. They were giving us $10,000 for, it was supposed to be a weekly show. Joe and his ambition, Joe's a good creative. He's a great creative, actually. He said, fuck a weekly show. We need to do this daily. So we accepted the terms for a daily show. I said, Again, I was never there for money. I didn't collect a check from them for 6 months. I'm good already. But that's the parallel in between where I've been. I wanted to be a mainstream name, not just a YouTube guy. And by the way, this is where I give Complex their credit.
Here's some highlight clips from one of the test episodes with a different moderator named Noah.
Hey, I live with my mama, okay? I live with my mama, all right? Don't listen to what Joe is trying to do. Live with my mama, and hopefully I can get my mama out the hood this year with Complex.
I see that's how this show is gonna go a lot. Joe has yet to say a word, and you're replying to something. I haven't said a word. I ain't even said a word, and he's ready to argue. See, that's power, man.
My girl paid for everything. I didn't touch my wallet once. I had all the sex in the world, all our vices. We watched the sunrise, all of that gay shit that you see in the movies. We did it. I love it.
Academic had.
Could you put the fucking S on my name, man?
Academic has.
Academics.
No, that would mean there's more of you.
You know what? That comes from people calling you Joe Budden.
I barely want to acknowledge the one of you that's here. I'm not going to pretend there's two of you.
That comes from people calling you Joe Budden. Yeah. The record is cool, but I think it's corny. Right? So and I'm not being corny. It's corny to me. It's corny to me. Like I listen to
the record's corny and dope.
Wait,
no. What I mean is not a whack song. So as a song, it's not whack. The feeling behind the record to me is whack. Right? All right. Are you still confused?
I have a question.
Could you clear it up for this motherfucker? I kind of went at him saying, "Listen, I understand getting mad at somebody."
So he's your friend, but you went at him.
He's not my friend.
He's your go-at friend.
No, I don't got friends. That's who.
He's your go-at associate.
But anyway.
All right. Well, time out.
What's up?
Time out. Just to qualify this, how old are you?
26.
And your birthday is when?
May.
My son don't even listen to Kodak Black. My son listen to all of that young people
like what?
Rah-rah shit.
Like what?
It's not important. I respect my kid's anonymity. But he don't listen to Kodak Black.
Like what does he listen to? Like give me a name. Uzi? No?
Which one is Uzi?
Alright. Next.
So I'm going to play a few highlight clips from this Yachtys episode, and I'll be giving some retrospective commentary in between the clips. Here's what Joe said his number one objective was.
My number one objective with speaking to you is to understand.
And by the end of it, let's see if he was trying to antagonize Yachtys and see how much power he had as far as his label goes, and if it was actually them trying to push agendas with that artwork. As far as the cover art, I understand his point, but I re-listened to his album, and I didn't hear a whole lot of positivity in the lyrics as far as how he was explaining it here. I more so hear a lot of him bragging and shitting on people, but it's his art, so maybe that's just how he expresses self-love. He was definitely an outcast. There always did seem to be some kind of tension between the two. As of 2021, the closest thing to them collaborating was the 2016 XXL Freshman Freestyle. In March 2021, Yachty called out Vlad from Vlad TV for further instigating beef between them, and he tried to get Uzi to back him up, but I don't think Uzi wanted to be involved with that, so I guess he just chose not to respond, publicly at least. As far as his business, yeah, he loves sharing his image for brands. Back in 2017, he had a Sprite commercial with LeBron, a Target commercial, and a Nautica clothing line. He did much more over the past 5 years, and as of 2021, he recently teamed up with Reese's Puff for a cereal box collectible series. A 60 deal is pretty much when you sign a contract with a label where they're able to get a percentage of the money you make other than your record sales. So that can include concerts, merch, endorsements, etc. And in return, they'll give you a certain amount of money and help promote you. There's more to it, but that's the main gist of what they're asking him. And he doesn't know.
Chill.
Now, I believe Joe on multiple occasions that his approach to this interview wasn't taken the right way because of his tone. And I'm pretty sure if he could do it over, he would do it with a lot less energy and a lot less aggression. Because, this mostly just looks like the old nigga getting at the young nigga. But, it happened. We're about to get to Wale's part soon. But let's see what they had to say about his album. And let's see what Akademiks had to say on Twitch before Wale got up there.
Why is Wale flopping?
It's a flop. 22,000 records on Atlantic Records is a flop because Atlantic Records is not in the business of selling 22,000 records, and he 100% spent more than 22,000 records will eventually account for. And this is my fucking beef with you. If Drake makes My Love, you fucking love it. So you are fake. You are phony. You roll with brands that are popping. Wale, come up here.
First things first, Wale's about to flop. Mean flop. I'm watching, I'm looking like this is about to be bad. Not laughing because I want it. Laughing because it's gonna happen. That shine is not shining. I don't let you know that. I got his album, I like it. I never dislike anything Wale drops. It's flopping. It's flopping. It's flopping. Not even doing enough numbers. They didn't put up projections for it this weekend. It's like, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm just letting y'all know what it is, people. Because the conversation I'm telling y'all now, midweek you're going to hear about it. Wale's probably going to go off about it. I'm predicting the future. Watch. Predicting the future. If you ask me what's wrong with Wale, the same. And that's why, you know what I mean? You see, Wale is sensitive, nigga. This is a real meat in the matter, too. Wale is sensitive, nigga. Normally, if a rapper does good or whatever, like I do with Thug all the time, like, yo, I think Thug missing this. Wale be so sensitive. I'm like, I'm not even talking about this shit. Real talk, because I ain't gonna be dick riding you. And you don't want no constructive criticism. You catch feelings with everything. You get me? So I'm like, I ain't talking about your shit, man. I look at the numbers. When the numbers come out and you flop, we gotta then talk about why you flopped. I ain't gonna be talking about it in the interim. Let's see what happens when that shit is done. Okay? As I've been telling y'all, fans aren't connecting with Wale. Why is that? I said maybe niggas think he's just corny. They can't connect with him like I did connect with these other guys. Even though Drake corny too, Kendrick corny too, Cole corny too in some ways. But like he's the butt of every joke. He's kind of like the Yachty. I'm not talking about skill level. Just like, you know how there's tons of mumble rappers, niggas all pick on Yachty and be like, we just don't like this nigga. Right? Uzi, you get a pass. Yachty, we hate you. That's what I think Wale is. His flow is the same. That nigga is boring. I'm sorry to tell y'all, Wale's more interesting than J. Cole. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Wale is much more interesting to me when he's rapping than J. Cole. Like, Wale is a child that got left back. You know that no child left behind act? Wale is the exception to the rule. Wale got left back. Wale's not in that same class no more. Like, are we kidding me? Is Wale in that same class? I don't think his peers even respect him. I'm being honest. This is not me. And Wale texted me. He's like, yo, you have a way of throwing, quote unquote, shade without just saying it. Y'all let me know if this is fair. I don't believe Wale's peers respect him like they do each other. Is that too far of a stretch? I don't see Drake and Cole and Kendrick really on, like, they don't really mention Wale like he's in a mix. Okay? Wale isn't corny. Hey, I'm not saying necessarily he is corny, but I'm saying when I say corny, I just explain, I'm summing up. Ain't nobody really trying to be like Wale. Chicks ain't into Wale like that. That's why his fan base.
All right, here we go. My quick bias with Wale. I love Wale. I think up to this point he was releasing great music, but unfortunately, as you might notice after this video, he's one of the bunch of rappers / artists that just didn't get the internet and the social media and how trolling works. Now, these few clips I'm going to show you, I think Wale and Akademiks made good points, so I'll be keeping score, but unfortunately, I think Wale's ego got the best of him in this situation, and many more situations after. Let's go.
Now, Wale,
Akademiks himself never really called Wale corny, at least not in the way that it probably seemed, but let's see what Wale response is correct. I'm not exactly sure how it started, but around this time there were many people on social media saying Wale was corny. It might be because of the subject matter of his lyrics, or maybe one of his public outbursts over things that may not have seemed that serious to the outside viewer. But like I said with social media at this time, and especially now, if a joke or a saying catches on, then there's not much you can really do about it. And Wale seemed to not realize that, but let's continue.
Let me tell you about yourself. You a satire nigga, right?
You
That's
are.
what you do. You satire.
Okay.
You're very sarcastic.
At times.
Luckily for you, the demographic in which that follows you, they don't peep the little slick shit you do. They don't peep your...
This kind of goes in line with what I was saying earlier about Akademiks, saying certain shit on Twitch that goes unnoticed, and also a lot of his fans are very young, so they're just there for the trolling and the BS, which he thrives in, so there you go.
You know what I'm saying? And slowly, you took that into the reporter of all the nonsense that goes on, and I applaud you for that. Like, you hustling, you finding your way in the door.
Now, what Wale just said there about congratulating Akademiks is something that quite a few rappers, more especially the ones that don't like him, usually give him his props in that specific area. And that is because I believe, even if they don't like what he says or does, Akademiks is an immigrant from Jamaica that found his own way. And I can see how that goes along with the rapper mentality of hustling and making it out the mud.
This Pusha calling me real quick. Hey Pusha, what's up, man? I'm doing Complex right now, everyday struggle with DJ Akademiks.
I wish I could get a call back from Pusha.
Now we're about to get into the worst part. I'm not even gonna play all of it, but here's Wale explaining and acting out his song, CC White.
Why ask you about CC White?
I like it.
Okay, what is it about?
Honestly, I don't even remember.
Now to break down CC White, I'm talking about where I come from, and I'm pretending that cocaine is an actual woman. A lot of people, that junk is going over their heads, and it makes me scratch my head, because if certain artists did that, there'd be all these think pieces. There'll be all of these things like, oh, this is, yeah.
Right there, I believe he's right. If Kendrick or somebody of his popularity and talent made a song about a woman, but was also talking about cocaine, there would be a million think pieces. I think most people's response, though, is that if Kendrick did it, it would be a lot better than what Wale did. I personally love the song and still listen to it in 2021. By the way, I highly doubt the concept went over that many people's head, but I'll let him live.
I didn't get that.
You bring up a very
And I get this. I want.
point.
This is the good part though. I don't mean to call you out. I know we got history. I hear the word of mouth. I know that you're no good for me. I hear the famous tales. They say you changed a little. I know the 80s made you rock hard.
First off, he sounds like a robot reading off of a piece of paper for the first time. Second, first time I saw this, and even now, I'm cringing. And based on Joe's face, so was he. Akademiks was just trying to get to the point, and Nebraska is Nebraska. Last clips, let's finish this.
Was you Wale Bias last at the draft? Taboo, cocaine white. Who knew she come through so paralyzed? Who knew she come through so ill-advised? Genocide, then gentrified us.
All of this is the best shit
And
ever.
she
It's
still
Kendrick
be
that
out
made it.
here. And she still be out here.
All of this is the
From
best
the
shit
hood to
ever.
Hollywood.
And Big Sean wrote it. All of this
And
is the best shit ever.
she the
Kendrick
coldest
wrote
white
it.
bitch. She the coldest white bitch this side of town.
You're giving us a genius breakdown when you make.
All right, that's enough of that. In my personal view, with most things before this concerning Wale, corny is not the word I would have used for him. But after this, corny is exactly the word I would use for him. I think this interview was one of the biggest mistakes of his career, and I covered that in other episodes, but it really shows. Anyways, let's move on to the next section. In retrospect, as far as Yachtys goes, he outwardly didn't seem fazed by Joe Budden's aggression. As far as the Everyday Struggle interview, he did a concert sometime after the show where the crowd started chanting F Joe Budden, and this is how he responded.
Yo, y'all crazy. Y'all let that old man live, man. Y'all crazy.
But then later on, near the end of 2017, Yachty wore a F Joe Budden hoodie to one of his concerts, so...
Hey, man. These old ass niggas need to stop fucking with these young niggas, man. Lebo. Hey, look, check this out, though.
There you go. He then initially went on to enjoy his Teenage Emotions release with a food fight with some fans. The project ended up selling 44K first week, which I guess didn't meet his or his label's expectations, because when the numbers came out, he said this. In early 2018, he admitted that he was devastated by the sales. He had this explanation for flopping, which he said was due to him switching up his style and deviating from what his fans would have wanted. Here's what Joe initially had to say after Yachty's first week sales came out.
All this one happening before it happened. And I just got memed to death and viraled out of control on the internet.
Well, what did you call? You were just shouting at the kid.
That was because your veins were popping out.
What do you mean, what did I call? I said this kid won't be here in 5 years.
I'll cover his career in later episodes, of course. But as far as 2021 goes, I think he's doing all right. Wale, on the other hand, let's see how he was feeling after the Everyday Struggle episode.
I just want to make good music, you know? And ain't nobody about to call me corny, none of that shit. This phone bother shit, I popularized it. This go-go shit, I brought it to the world. This DC lifestyle, I brought it to the world. You're not about to play with me like that. I don't give a fuck who you are. But moving on, I just think that, you know, people gotta have their shit in order before they start doing stuff like that. All that corny shit, man, like, of course the fucking introverts that don't be in the clubs, that don't really have no real, like, outside the internet life, of course they don't agree with me, and of course they gon', but all I'm saying is, I think it's time for us to speak up. My fans speak up, because I'm about to start saying less. I might delete this shit soon, because I'm just getting sick of that shit, like, I'm getting sick of it. You think I like retweeting shit all day, but that's the only means of promotion I get. I don't have no media, I don't have no magazines, I don't have none of that. All I got is my Twitter and my music. So, I don't like motherfucking retweeting shit all day, but that's the only thing I can do to fucking keep the shit moving. I'm gonna make it pop. I'm gonna make it pop off somehow now. I'm a hustler, you know that. They can't never count me out, dog. I know I'm one of the nicest niggas on the planet, and they know it too. And I appreciate all my fans, dog. Never in my life am I ever trying to come off as above anybody or cocky or none of that shit. Never. You know what I'm saying? But if you play with me and you on some shit like you trying to talk down on me, I could clap back with an automatic weapon while you got a revolver. Or I could clap back with a tank while you got an automatic. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna try. You ain't gonna do that with me. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I got love, I got hate. You know, and this has been the album of me focusing on everybody that love me. I put a lot of niggas on, man. Look at my first album. A lot of niggas gave them their first shot. A lot of niggas put on their first tour. Big Sean, J. Cole, put them on their first tour. Always been a good stand-up nigga to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't about to go for all that corny, all that, man. What? No. Yeah, man, I had some little run-ins and little bad little episodes in the past, kirking out on niggas, this and the third. But I ain't even really on that no more, and I ain't been on that. I be calm, I be on my chill shit, but...
Yeah. About a year or so later, Wale got dropped from his label. Luckily for him, he had a few big moments, although few and far between, that has kept him somewhat relevant, like his song Black Bonnie, Sue Me, Orange Hill featuring Jeremiah, and Good Vibes. Meanwhile, Russ dropped his major label debut album titled There's Really a Wolf, which had his big hit titled What They Want. Logic dropped Everybody, which was originally titled Africarian, because, you know, African and Aryan, he's black and white. It included his suicide PSA song, 1-800-273-855. Side note, Freddie Gibbs called him out for allegedly stealing his cover art theme. Do these two look similar to you? Let me know in the comments. Young Thug announced Easy Breezy Beautiful Thugger Girls, executive produced by Drake. Kodak Black was found guilty of violating house arrest, and I believe it spawned this beautiful picture. Don't worry though, Bill is doing a lot better these days. The lovely Miss SZA dropped her single Love Galore, featuring Travis Scott. DJ Khaled dropped his single I'm the One, featuring Justin Bieber, Migos, Chance the Rapper, and Lil Wayne. As of 2021, it's currently certified 8 times platinum. Wayne himself, who was still beefing with Cash Money and Birdman, said this at a concert.
Shit without you. Thank you. See Clouds coming soon. But Cash Money. It's the rock.
Implying that he's on Jay-Z's team. Diddy kept the sussery alive with this infamous Met Gala pic, but he redeemed himself with this also infamous Instagram post where he cropped out Kylie and Kendall Jenner from his Black Excellence photo, but then his former chef sued him for lack of pay and harassment. He eventually settled with her 2 years later, so let's call it a stalemate. Rolling Loud 2017, a fan tried to get his moment with Lil Wayne on stage while he was performing Lollipop, and Yeah. Also at Rolling Loud that year, Uzi jumped in the crowd with his fans, yeah. Also around that time, Uzi debuted this interesting shirt, saying it costed
Uzi, I thought your shirt was cute, yo. I thought the shirt was cute. They was coming at your neck and all that. 2,400.
B.O.B. dropped his album Ether, which is a great project. The SpongeBob mocking meme took over. The T-Wayne project that people were waiting on for so long finally dropped. Tory Lanez and Drake officially ended their beef after sneak dissing each other for years. And as a matter of fact, Drake dissed him literally 2 months before this pic was posted on the song Do Not Disturb off the More Life compilation. So yeah. Gucci Mane dropped his collab tape with Metro Boomin called Drop Top Wop. LL Cool J said he didn't want to hear any more terrible rap records. Ugly God's mom sent him an inspiring text. And of course, Lil Yachty dropped his album, Teenage Emotions. The album got very mixed reviews upon release, but let's address a few interesting things on it. Of course, if you heard the song Peekaboo, you probably heard this line. So yes, Yachty thought a cello was a wind instrument. He thought the instrument specifically that Squidward played was a cello. It is in fact a clarinet, which is a wind instrument. So there's that. Also, on DN Freestyle, he had the line that says, "Niggas say he wanted 2 verses, but he was hella trash, but he had cash on him," implying that somebody wants to buy some verses from him. He doesn't want to do it because the dude is trash, but he's willing to pay Yachty, so he'll give him the 2 verses. And it's funny because people are calling Lil Yachty trash, but he's calling this guy trash. I don't know. Dirty Mouth, he says, "She sucked dick like a baby bottle." Now I understand what the line means, but comparing to how a girl gives fellatio to something that a child puts in his mouth, that's a little strange, but whatever. Lady in Yellow, I like the song as a whole. It's one of my favorites. I like how he said this line, "Put your diamonds up like Rockefeller," because he put a cool melody behind it. Now Priority, this is the one. The line goes as follows: "She get wet and she sucked me like an insect." She my stepsister, so I guess that's incest. I could not stop looking at those big breasts. Well, it's not a crime, I guess, but you do you, Boat. You do you. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you made it this far, thank you. And on the next episode, Mr. Carter's gonna man up and face all his problems for the world to see. It'll be out sometime within the next month. Not exactly sure when, but if you like this video and you want to continue down this journey I'm on, please like, share, and subscribe. And have your notifications on so you can know exactly when the next episode drops. And that's the end of it.